Meanwhile, back at the Okwaila apartment in Ado-Ekiti, Zainab was still sleeping. Not normal sleep. The kind of sleep where your body is alive but your spirit feels like it has traveled far away. The sleeping pills Tenny poured into her wine were strong enough to lock Zainab inside darkness while her best friend walked into a trap meant for her. Hours passed. The wall clock ticked. The compound security guard outside changed shifts. Night came. Cricket started singing. And still, Zainab did not wake. 12:11 a.m., Zainab wakes up. Zainab's eyes moved under her eyelids. Her fingers twitched. Her throat felt dry like she swallowed sand. Then slowly, she opened her eyes. The room was dark. Only small street light from outside entered through the curtain. Zainab blinked, confused. Her head felt heavy like a drum filled with stones. She tried to sit up, and the whole world spun. "Astaghfirullah, what is wrong with me?" she whispered. She held her forehead with both hands until the dizziness reduced. Then she remembered. Her birthday morning. Tenny smiling too much. The small cake. The wine. To friendship, Tenny had said. After that, blank. Zainab reached for her phone. 12:11 a.m. Her eyes widened. I slept since morning. Her heart began to beat fast. Tenny, she called. No answer. Tenny. Silence. Zainab forced herself out of bed, her legs weak like rubber. She opened her door and stepped into the sitting room. The lights were off. The apartment was quiet, too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your skin crawl. Zainab switched on the light. The living room was empty. The food smell was gone. No jollof. No fried chicken. No Tenny. Zainab rushed to Tenny's room. The bed was messy. Makeup scattered. One shoe near the door like someone wore it in a hurry. And on the chair, the red dress was missing. Zainab's stomach turned. No, no, no. She ran back to the sitting room table and saw the wine bottle. She sniffed her cup. Her body shook. They drugged me. Her mind raced. Why would Tenny drug her? Then something hit her like thunder. The surprise party. Diprime had told Tenny to blindfold her and send her with the driver. The driver had never met Zainab. So if someone else wore the dress and entered that car, Zainab's breath caught. Ya Allah. She grabbed her phone and called Tenny. Switched off. Again. Switched off. Now fear entered her bones. Not ordinary fear. The kind of fear that remembers the forest, the rope, the organ harvesting room, and knows evil can wear a friend's face. 12:38 a.m., the call that changed everything. Zainab's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered quickly. Hello. A female voice cried out, almost shouting. Zainab. Is that you? You're alive? Zainab frowned. Who is this? It's Rukoyat, NYSC camp. Zainab, we thought you were kidnapped. Zainab's brain froze. Kidnapped? What are you saying? Rukoyat was talking fast. Your fiancé Diprime organized a big surprise birthday party today at an event center in Ado-Ekiti. Everybody came. Your mother came from Kaduna. There was music, food, MC, everything. They brought a brand new car. Then suddenly gunmen entered, shooting. People were screaming. They grabbed the girl in the red dress and kidnapped her. Zainab couldn't breathe. A girl, in a red dress. Her voice became small. That wasn't me. There was silence on the line. What? I was at home. I was asleep. I just woke up. Then Rukoyat whispered, terrified. Then, who did they kidnap? Zainab's eyes filled with tears. She already knew. Tenny. Zainab calls Diprime. Zainab's hands shook as she dialed Diprime. It rang. And rang. Then. Switched off. Her chest tightened. Switched off on the night his fiancée was supposedly kidnapped. Zainab tried again. Still switched off. A cold thought crawled into her mind like a snake. What if the party was never for celebration? What if the robbers were not robbers? What if? Zainab stopped herself. No. D-Prime loves me. But her heart didn't believe her the way it used to. Because Zainab had learned something in the forest. When death is near, you start seeing truth clearly. Morning, Zainab goes to the event center. By 6:30 a.m., Zainab couldn't sit still. She wore a simple hoodie, jeans, and slippers. She wrapped a scarf around her head and moved quietly out of the compound. The two security guards greeted her. "Madam, where are you going?" "Sir said you should not go out alone." Zainab looked at them, her eyes red. "My friend is missing. I'm going to find out what happened." They exchanged looks. Then one said, "We'll follow you in the next street so it won't look suspicious." Zainab entered a taxi. Her heart was beating like a talking drum. As they approached the event center, she saw police tape. Broken chairs. A shattered bottle near the gate. A woman selling snacks outside was gossiping loudly. "No, so them carry the birthday girl. Rich man fiancé. No big waller." Zainab stepped closer. The woman looked at her face and gasped. "Huh. You look like her." Zainab forced herself to speak calmly. "Madam, did you see the girl's face clearly?" The woman shook her head. "No. She was blindfolded." "Them say no surprise." "Blindfolded." "Exactly." Zainab swallowed. Then she saw something that made her blood run cold. A security man at the event center was arguing with someone. "Sir, you can't enter again. Police say nobody should come inside." The person trying to enter was tall, well-dressed, angry. D-Prime. Zainab's breath caught. She stood behind a pillar so he wouldn't see her. D-Prime was shouting. "I just want to check inside. It's my fiancé." Then his phone rang. He stepped aside to answer, voice low. Zainab strained her ears. And what she heard made her whole body go cold. "Baba, is it done?" Pause. "Yes. I know it's not her. I know." Another pause. "Midnight is midnight. It must finish before midnight." Zainab's knees nearly failed. D-Prime continued, voice tense. "I don't care who wore the dress. The blood must work. Keep it clean." Then he ended the call. Zainab backed away slowly, shaking. Her mouth covered with her hand so she wouldn't scream. It was true. The forest horror had followed her into relationship. This man was not only a lover. He was a hunter. And she was the prey. Zainab makes one decision: be smart, not loud. Zainab knew if she ran to scream ritualist, without proof, people would laugh. And D-Prime had money. Connections. Actors. Fake tears. Zainab went home and locked herself inside. She sat on the bed thinking, whispering to herself. "Think, Zainab. Think." Then she remembered something. The vigilantes who saved her in Igbo. Those men didn't fear forest criminals. They chased them. They fought them. And they believed in evidence. Zainab called the vigilante leader's number that one of them had given her before. It rang. A deep voice answered. "Hello. Brother, it's Zainab. The girl you people rescued from the forest building." There was silence. Then his voice softened. "Oh. Alhamdulillah. You're alive. How are you?" Zainab's voice broke. "My friend is missing. And the man I'm engaged to. I think he's involved." The man's tone changed immediately. "Say your location." The trap. By evening, 2 vigilante men came quietly to Okwaila. Not in uniform. No noise. They met Zainab inside the apartment. Zainab told them everything. The pills. The red dress. The party. The phone call she overheard. The Baba. One of the men nodded slowly. This is how they do. They hide evil behind enjoyment. They asked her one question. Will he contact you again? Zainab nodded. He's the type that wants control. He won't let me disappear. They gave Zainab a small voice recorder and told her, if he comes, make him talk. Don't argue. Don't fight. Let him confess with his own mouth. Zainab's hands trembled as she held the recorder. But, what about Tenny? The men looked at each other. Then one said quietly, we will also search forest routes. But we must move fast. Zainab's tears fell. Because deep down, she already feared the answer. 10:06 p.m., D-Prime calls. That night, Zainab's phone rang. D-Prime. Her heart pounded. She clicked record. Then answered. Zainab, where are you? He asked, voice soft, almost sweet. Zainab forced her voice to sound confused. I've been sleeping. I just woke up. People are saying I was kidnapped. D-Prime sighed dramatically. My baby, thank God you're alive. I have been dying. Zainab swallowed hard. Then why was your phone off? Small pause. Network excuse. Then he said, forget that. Listen, don't leave your house. I'm coming now. Zainab's stomach turned. She kept recording. Coming to do what? She asked carefully. To keep you safe, he replied. Zainab whispered, like a scared girl. Where is Tenny? Silence. Long silence. Then D-Prime's voice turned colder. That girl, she's not your problem. Zainab pushed gently. But she's my friend. She wore my dress. She entered your driver's car. Another silence. Then he said something he didn't realize would destroy him. Zainab, some people use their own hands to enter trouble. Mind your life. Zainab's heart was racing. He didn't deny she entered the car. He didn't act surprised. He spoke like a man who knew exactly what happened. Then he added, almost impatient. Open your door when I get there. The call ended. Zainab was shaking. The vigilante men, hidden in the back room, nodded. We have enough to move him. Now we just need him in the act. The door bangs. Minutes later. Zainab. Open up. D-Prime's voice. Zainab held her breath. She looked through the curtain. D-Prime stood there with two men. One held something long under his jacket. Not ordinary. Zainab's throat closed. The vigilante men gestured to her, stay calm. D-Prime banged again. I said open this door. Zainab shouted, acting terrified. I'm calling the police. D-Prime laughed, cold. Police. In this country. Open the door before I break it. Then he said the sentence that ended his freedom. You think you can escape like last time? Zainab's blood turned to ice. Last time. Forest. Organ hideout. He knew. He had always known. The vigilante man whispered, now. One of them called the local police contact they trusted in Igbo, those same networks that had raided criminals before. While D-Prime was still threatening, the vigilantes opened the door suddenly, not for him to enter, but to create space. D-Prime stepped forward confidently. And immediately. Hold it. Don't move. Two vigilantes grabbed him. His boys tried to run. But the police vehicle arrived fast, sirens cutting through the night like a blade. D-Prime struggled. Do you know who I am? The officer pointed a torchlight into his face. We know you too well. They searched the boys. A knife. A charm pouch. And inside D-Prime's car. A bag with ropes and tape. Zainab stood behind them, crying silently. Not because she was weak, but because she realized. If she didn't act smart, she would have been the one inside that rope. The forest search. Once D Prime was arrested, Zainab didn't sleep. The vigilantes insisted. We go now. They drove toward the forest routes around Ado-Ekiti/Oshobo axis where such shrines hide. They used D Prime's phone, because once police seized it, it became evidence. They found calls saved under strange names. Boba. Alpha. Driver. They tracked a recent location pin and followed bush paths. At the edge of the forest, they found a small building with red markings. Candle wax on the floor. Strange chalk symbols. The smell of smoke and iron. Zainab's body went numb. One of the officers said quietly, "This place is not normal." They entered. And what they found made hardened men swallow hard. Chains. Blood stains. A black altar. And behind a curtain in the corner, a girl's scarf. The same scarf Zainab recognized from Tenny's head. Zainab fell to her knees. Tenny. But Tenny was not there. Only silence. Only proof that evil had passed through. They arrested the shrine men that night. And as they interrogated them, the truth began to pour out, one ugly drop at a time. Justice doesn't always come as you expect. Zainab did not get the happy ending she wanted. Because she wanted Tenny alive. Even after everything. Because that's how a good heart behaves. It still mourns wickedness. But justice came in another way. D Prime's clean businessman mask fell. The police linked him to fraud, laundering, ritual operations, and previous missing girl cases. Evidence piled up. His driver confessed. The shrine men confessed. And Zainab's recording, his own words, became the rope that tied him to his crimes. When the news broke, people shouted online. "Oh. Another one. See these rich boys. Blood money." And Zainab watched it all quietly, not celebrating, just breathing, grateful she was still alive. Zainab visits Kaduna. Days later, Zainab traveled to Kaduna to see Mama Sophia. Her mother held her so tightly like she wanted to stitch her into her chest. "My daughter, you survived again." Zainab cried. "Mama, prayer is real." Mama Sophia wiped her tears and said, "Prayer is real, yes. But wisdom is also real. Allah gave you sense, use it." Zainab nodded. Because she finally understood. God can save you, but you must also walk with sense. Moral lessons from Zainab's story. Not everybody who calls you bestie is happy for you. Some people hug you while sharpening knife inside their heart. Jealousy doesn't only destroy others, first, it destroys the jealous person. A blindfold is not only cloth, sometimes it's trust without wisdom. Don't let love blind your eyes. If a story smells wrong, it is wrong. Truth is consistent, lies are always shaky. In danger, be smart, not loud. Gather evidence. Move wisely. Survival is not noise, it's strategy. Not all money is blessing. Some money is a receipt of blood, pain, and tears. A mother's prayer is powerful, but your choices must also be careful. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel.